Here's one that I did not expect to get the Arrow treatment, but at this point I have no idea what Arrow is going to put out. So they have put out a film that I saw in the theaters in the late 90s and I really enjoyed. This is from 1996, The Long Kiss Goodnight, directed by Renny Harlin, starring his then wife Geena Davis and Samuel L. Jackson and Craig Bierko and Alan North. Alan North always makes me smile. People don't really probably know who Alan North is. Alan North was the original partner to Leslie Nielsen on the Police Squad TV series that got turned into the Naked Gun series of films. And instead of hiring Alan North to be the sidekick in the Naked Gun films, they went with George Kennedy in the Naked Gun films. But I always thought Alan North was great. He's a very small role in this film, but always happy to see the guy getting work. Written by Shane Black, who was hot property at the time. This is a 4K and a Blu-ray set. And I will tell you how it goes, a little something like this. So I'm not going to tell you the whole story. The story goes a little something like this. Geena Davis is, I almost like don't want to tell you the story at all because any story is based upon surprises. And even the opening credits of this film, I mean, obviously the packaging and the synopsis and the menus are going to give away everything that happens in the movie. But I feel like every film should work as a story that unfolds as a surprise before you. But even like the opening credits of this film give away something that I was like, you could have not put that in there. If somebody went to this movie and didn't know what was going to happen, that shot that's in the opening credits, it might have, let that be a surprise. So the deal is this. Geena Davis, a single mom living in a rural community somewhere. I don't remember if they say where it is, but it could be Vermont, it could be Virginia, it could be anywhere. I believe it was shot in Canada, which was typical of a lot of things at this time. But it has that snowy, rural New England feel to it. She's a school teacher. She's very simple and meek, and she's got a nice guy who's her boyfriend, and she's got amnesia. She was in a car accident years ago, and she can't remember where she came from, anything after the accident, so she just has been living her life moving forward, not looking back. But she has hired Private Eye Samuel L. Jackson, who's a sassy former cop who does all kinds of semi-nefarious things with a smile, and she has hired him to try to find out about her past, and he finds something out, and that leads to her finding out who she really was. And I'm going to have to give it to you because otherwise you're going to be like, well, what's this movie about? She finds out, on the old show, we used to say, spoiler alert, turn down the sound for the next so many seconds. And when well, let's do that. We used to say, spoiler alert. And when you saw us do that, it meant mute the sound on your TV. And when we said, come on back, you could turn the sound back up. So I'll do that in honor of the late, great Tom Cook and the still with us and actively being a champion of travel, Lee Perkins. So what we're going to do this. That means pause right now if you don't want to know the big plot twist in this film. I trust you've done that. So basically the deal is, I am going to tell you the whole story. The deal is that Geena Davis was like a CIA, badass, amazing CIA assassin or counter-assassin or something like that. And as the film goes, she remembers who she is and her skills come back to her as the bad guys who thought she was dead and maybe had a hand in making sure she was dead want to make sure that she is now indeed very dead. So I'm not going to talk about the plot anymore. The action in this movie is really fun. This movie is really funny. The action is creative. It's brutal. It's dark. It's very. It's some sassy dialogue and some non-PC dialogue here and there. But it is so much fun. It's one of those movies where I don't have any love for the '90s aesthetic or '90s media for the most part. I lived through it. There was stuff I liked. There was stuff I loved. There was stuff I didn't like. But a lot of times when I look back on it, it just feels not good. This is a movie that held up great. This is a movie that is just as much fun as it was when I saw it in the theater and really, really liked it. I'm glad to have this. I'm glad Arrow is giving it this treatment. 4K looks great, although does it look a lot better than a Blu-ray? I never can tell on my TV. There's very little that I watch where I'm just like, oh my God, that looks amazing. Usually the benefit really of 4K is that somebody has taken, or the entity has taken another pass at doing a new transfer. So sometimes just the transfer itself looks better than it did before. At any rate, the 4K disc, I'll tell you the specs on that. Audio is English 5.1, English 2.0, English Dolby Atmos. It has English SDH subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Special features are a commentary by Walter Chow, a senior film critic for Film Freak Central. That's very interesting. Sometimes when it's just a fan commentary, I'm like, oh, is this going to be somebody saying how much they like it? It is that, but it gets into a lot of stuff about what was going on when the film was being made and all kinds of other things. You get another commentary by Joshua Conkle and Drusilla Adeline, and that's good. You get a trailer that's 2.5 minutes, and you get a 312 image gallery. That is going to give your thumb and your remote quite the workout. Disc 2 is a Blu-ray. It's just special features. So if you buy this 4K set of The Long Kiss Goodnight from Arrow, just know that you need 4K capability to be able to watch the movie itself, and the extras are on that first disc. Second disc is Girl Interrupted, an interview with actress Yvonne Zima. This is cool. She played the daughter in the movie, so this is much, much later. A couple decades now. What year is this? 96? Yeah, a couple decades later, that is the little girl all grown up talking about her experiences working on the film. That's 16 minutes long. Symphony of Destruction interview with stunt coordinator Steve Davidson. That's 9 minutes. Long Live the New Flesh. Cronenberg reference there. Interview with makeup artist Gordon J. Smith. That's 12 minutes. And they call it that because they talk about how they made this like Geena Davis mask that went over the stunt person's face that was like molded from her face. It doesn't quite look like her. It looks weird, but I think in long shots it probably worked just before they could do face replacement technology and stuff like that. Amnesia Chick visual essay on dueling identities in The Long Kiss Goodnight by film scholar Josh Nelson. That's 19 minutes. The Mirror Cracked visual essay about domesticity and liberation in The Long Kiss Goodnight by film historians Kevin Marr, Howard S. Berger, and Angela McEntee. That's 38 minutes long. A Woman's World visual essay by film scholar Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. That's 14 minutes long. Deleted scenes. There are 2 deleted scenes. They run 3 minutes back to back. And this is one of those occasions where you watch the deleted scenes and you're like, why did they take this out? Because it's more action. It's more like insane action sequences that when I was going through these extras in order and looking at the still set section, there were stills of things I didn't remember seeing in the film. I'm like, did I space out during that amazing action sequence that I don't remember? Those amazing action sequences are in the deleted scenes. It's very strange those got cut unless somebody thought that they were just too over the top. Promotional interviews, there's a whole bunch of stuff that was shot on set back when the film was being made or right after it was done. These are standard definition, really done for the EPK. So it's a lot of people saying, what is this movie? The Long Kiss Goodnight, or my character is... so you get Renny Harlin for 2 minutes, you get Geena Davis for a minute and a half, Samuel L. Jackson for a minute and a half, Craig Bierko for a minute, and you get a making of, which is vintage for the original EPK. That's 6 minutes, standard def 4:3. The previous standard def stuff was basically zoomed in to fit this frame. And then you get a behind the scenes that is 8 minutes of behind the scenes footage on set, EPK footage, which is cool because it's shot on video, so it's sort of more to a degree feels like you're there. Forgot to mention Brian Cox is also in this movie. The cast is great. Again, it's very funny. If you like and know Shane Black, this is really good Shane Black. This is a really fun movie that is a great female ass kicker movie. It's a film that I don't know that Geena Davis did much else in the way of action. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just, it's really, really fun. I'm really glad they put this out. Hopefully you have a 4K player so you can watch it. I don't know if they are also releasing a Blu-ray edition of this, but at any rate, available now on 4K UHD, HDR, and the supplemental Blu-ray from Arrow Video is 1996's Renny Harlin action comedy fest. And Sam Jackson's really funny in this. The Long Kiss Goodnight.